Welcome back to Tales from the PowerAge, and tonight we're going to be talking about Iron Maiden and some of the lovely little things that we've got in our catalogues. These aren't the things that are going to make you millions of pounds. These aren't probably the best collectibles that Maiden have got out there. But there's some stuff that we cherish and we love, and I'm sure there's a couple of things that you probably haven't got. Well, you definitely haven't, because there's some things that we got signed that you won't get signed. They're one-offs. So, Gav, do you want to kick off? Because you've got some, you got loads of stuff.
But yeah, this is a survivor of many moons. It's, in case you don't know what it is, it's the Christmas card that came in Run to the Hills Live, which is taken from Live After Death, and it's lovely. It's a lovely new painting by Derek with kind of printed signatures on the inside. Wishing you happy Christmas, as you can see from that slide there. Mine's still got blue tack marks on it because it was on my wall for years. So how it's survived and found its single to go back in after all these years is brilliant. I'm very pleased it exists. I bet they're relatively rare now. Now this is a collection that they did, I think, 2012, and they kind of look like a Japanese with the obi strip, but they're all picture discs, and they're all gatefold sleeves. And there's one of my favorites there. Highly collectible now. So if you see these around for a reasonable price, I would recommend you scoop them up, because
I believe you've got all of them that are pictured.
I've got all of them, but it's taken me a lot of time and a little bit of money.
So how much would you be expecting to pay for one of those, Gav?
Anything between 50 and 90, right. Something like that. But I haven't looked since I've had them. So, yeah, really, really beautiful things. You know, we've said before, Maiden are just so good at looking after the fans in terms of the quality. Once you buy it, you know it's going to be good. All the packaging, you know, all the extras. And everything you want is there. You know, they've picked out the kind of iconic images, either from the singles or the album covers or whatever, to have as the picture discs. And they're just real, you know, things of beauty.
They look cool.
Fear of the Dark's the only one that's a double, yeah?
Live After Death will be a double.
Sorry, Live After Death, of course.
Yeah.
My bad.
Yeah. So you get four pictures there.
They look
cool.
So
yeah, check them out.
Up to 800 quid's worth just for that little collection. Some expensive plastic right there.
Yeah, they're so lovely though. I'll never sell them. And talking of lovely, again, similar thing, Maiden picture disc from a more recent album. This is the Great Airship Disaster kind of faux Daily Mirror headline, and then on the back, I should have put this on there actually. There's more kind of newspaper reports of the airship going down. So obviously it was a real event. Gatefold sleeve, classic picture disc. So yeah, probably this isn't really worth much. I don't think. It's just a lovely thing.
Yeah, cool.
This is kind of a shared memory for all of us. This was the event shirt for, well, we saw them in Twickenham. So this was one of their repeat, going back to the past and doing classic era tours. And this for me, I mean, I absolutely love Power Slave anyway. So I was a pig in poo. Miraculously, the shirt has shrunk.
Miraculously.
Yeah, it just
unreal. That.
Yeah, I'm going to have a word with them because they, you know, the quality is terrible that it shrinks after all this time. But if any, I wouldn't mind getting a replica because I absolutely love the gold logo. Even like the blue. You know, it's a lovely thing. Well, we were all there. We might even do an episode of this. You up?
Doesn't come across as blue. I'd forgotten it was blue.
Yeah, it's blue.
That very same gig, if you recall, that was a great at Twickenham, brilliant gig. If you recall, a couple of the lads that went and bought, that's the first time I saw anyone buy a football shirt.
Oh yeah,
ones of that a band had released, and it was yellow, which tied in with our love of all things football. A couple of guys bought those, didn't they? So we didn't, but they shrunk on the day, if you recall.
I was staggered at how expensive they were, and they were still. I think they sold out really early as well. So
They were 50 quid in 2008, if I remember rightly.
Yeah, and I think this was probably 15 quid by contrast.
Well, there won't be £15 next week, that's for sure.
No. This one's just, I'm a drummer, and Nico did his own kind of drumming masterclass, I guess, workshop. And like, Maiden tend to do this. They even if someone does the solo stuff, it still goes on the Maiden website, which is really nice and supportive. And so this was on the website, and if you ordered it up front, you got the lanyard with it, Rhythm of the Beast lanyard, and they're super collectible now, which I didn't even realize at the time, but I looked it up recently, and they're worth quite a bit. But yeah, that's great. It's because Nico is an absolute legend. He's a funny guy, so having a whole couple of hours of him showing drum parts and talking to the audience and all that kind of nerdy stuff is a lovely item to have. It's probably
before you go to the next slide, you just reminded me I got some Doug Sampson drumsticks.
Oh yeah,
which are signed. But what's really cool, look at the etching for Air Force. It's done in Iron Maiden font.
Oh yeah, brilliant.
They're cool, aren't they? Signed by him, which is fun. Doug, of course, was I think he was the original drummer for Maiden, wasn't he? But he was certainly he did drum on one or two of the singles. I'll find it actually a bit later when we go through the singles, but he was certainly the drummer on one of the singles that I've got. So, there you go.
Oh yeah, and this is another kind of spin-off that they I think Bruce works with the brewery, Robinson's, I think it is, starting with the Trooper beer, but then they've done lots of spin-offs. I think I've got them all. If I haven't, please let me know below in the comments. I know there's a new anniversary one, which I do have, but this photo predated it. And another interesting thing, even the guys haven't seen this yet. Happened to be in the States last week, and in America they didn't use Robinsons, they used Brewdog. So let me big myself up and check this out. So it was called Hellcat, it's not called Trooper. And there's a little sticker and patch set of the American version of Trooper.
That's cool.
Which is cool. Yeah, so I scooped that up from the Brewdog boozer that I found myself in. So that's a nice little thing. But yeah, I obviously Maiden, once again, do everything right, and the labels are cool. So yeah, all power to them. It's over to you, Dill.
Cool. Yeah, we're going to go through a couple of the singles. I've got some of the original early singles. This one in particular is one of my favourite ever covers of anything. So we were talking about this earlier, but just some of the graffiti on the wall behind the dude that's running away from Eddie. You've got Scorpions, Judas Priest, AC/DC, Led Zeppelin, Hammersmith. I mean, when you're 10, 11, I mean, that's brilliant. That's exactly what you want to see. As I just alluded to earlier, on the B side of this, there's a song called Burning Ambition, and that's what Doug Sampson has actually drummed on the B side of this, which is cool. As with the old Maiden singles, you probably all know this, but they're brilliant, aren't they?
Yeah, I love that label.
That label's immense.
Yeah, so there you go. So that's that one. So, women in uniform. For those of you that know anything about, or do want to know anything about prime ministers, that was not a particularly popular one with a lot of people. That's Margaret Thatcher. You can see both there, one with the eyes blacked out and one with them not. And that's Sanctuary, Drifter, and I Got the Fire. But it's women in Sanctuary. I thought it was a women in uniform. That's the other one, isn't it? Sanctuary is Sanctuary. Apologies. That's me getting... Yeah, and Drifter and I've Got the Fire, which was brilliant as well. So, yeah, that's those two. Sorry, I'm getting mixed up. Confused there because the next one I'm going to show you is also Margaret Thatcher in military uniform, and that's women in uniform. So, again, there was a bit of controversy around these for obvious reasons. I've also got the Wrathchild there. Let me just find that. What's good about my Wrathchild is that it's signed by none other than Steve Harris. of Iron Maiden fame. I can't find it now. Got so many singles here. I'll show you the other one, which is Purgatory, which to me is probably my favourite piece of Iron Maiden artwork. Absolutely fantastic. And if they're selling one of those to you,
to get hold of.
I think there's every chance I might purchase myself one of those. I'll have a look for the Wrathchild in a minute. I've got so many here, I can't find it.
Yeah, I haven't got that Purgatory.
It's brilliant, isn't it? It's really difficult.
Very hard to find, right?
Mm,
Yeah, it's cool though. It's such a great picture.
very cool.
Okay, cool. Next one, Gav.
Made in Japan.
Yeah.
So there are two versions of this. I don't know if the other version was available in the UK, but there's a version where Diano's head's chopped off and Ned is holding his head.
That's right.
Kind of looks like Diano, but I think that might have been a Japanese or, again, let us know in the comments.
There's the Wrathchild. I think got it.
Yeah, I haven't got that either.
Yeah, I might just see it signed by Steve Harris. When he signed it, he said to me, "Oh, where did you get that from?" That was in 1986. Bless him. So
that's brilliant. Yeah, and I shot that picture on because I've got a factory sample.
I've got a Spanish import of that, Gav, funnily enough.
So for anyone that's got that sticker, it's not particularly unusual, and that is exactly the same sticker they use on every EMI pressing. So you get that on all kinds of bands, records. It's not peculiar to Maiden. But yeah, great sounding live album or live EP.
Yeah, it is good. Yeah,
probably the first time he heard the term Earth Dogs as well, I would imagine.
Rivethead.
Not the last time though. I can promise you on that.
The last time.
There's Number of the Beast on the red, which is cool. You can see the back as well. I love the backs of some of these.
And a different label again.
Yes.
Yeah.
For those of EMI 5287, if you're looking to collect it, there again is one of the a brilliant piece of artwork, isn't it? I know it's a bit shiny, apologies, but it's amazing that. And again on the back, brilliant picture of the band. Look, Clive Burr looking excellent there as well. But they were good days, weren't they? Fantastic.
Apparently, Derek did the Number of the Beast album cover thinking it was the single cover, or intended to be the single cover, but it was just so good that they switched it and made it the album cover, and he had to do another one for the single.
Wow.
Can you imagine that being 7 inches, all that detail?
Yeah, it's amazing though, doesn't it? So a couple of signed things. I've just shown you Wrathchild signed. This one is, what's interesting in this, I think I've shown this before actually, but this was signed in '86. I've got Steve Harris and I don't know why, but Nico decided to sign it as well, even though he had nothing to do with this album. So you
could snatch the pen off him.
Yeah, and the obligatory Tar Nico on the back. Signed Power Slave.
Nice.
Bruce is sort of just started to fade out a bit. If I can move that across, you can see Tar Nico again. You see Steve Harris on the Sphinx's head. And then there's Adrian Smith. I think you just see that. Can you see it?
Yeah.
Yeah, just about.
No Dave Murray on that one, though. And then on the back of that one, that's Bruce and Adrian as well. That's the Somewhere in Tour. Cool. Sadly, I never got my World Slavery program signed.
Yeah, same with me. This was on the Somewhere in Time tour, so I just took stuff from the previous tour, a VHS, kids. That was something that's very out of date now, but I've got it signed. It's cool. It's such a great video as well. And I took the booklet that came with Live After Death because I didn't want to knacker the album cover, so I just put something I could roll up. Take to the gig. So that's lovely. That's framed on my wall. And then a few various bits and bobs, again, if you've watched some of the other pods we've done, Dill and I went to Germany twice, and there's a German ticket there, which is the cut-out embossed one. And then there's a Wembley ticket for 88, same year as the Donington programme that you're seeing there. And then a Dave Murray pick, which I believe is in his.
So there's the pick, and that was you see that? So that's from another friend of ours who, he won't mind me saying, but worked with Maiden, and in particular with Dave Murray. He was his guitar tech for a while, and he kindly gifted me that a while ago. So you can see the Maiden on the top as well. So, but if we had him on, we're showing his stuff, this show would be about 5 hours just on Maiden. So, if you ever want to come and do it, Paulo, you know where we are.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Cool. And then finally, we got a bunch of stamps and stuff from the Royal Mail. They did a piece of a bunch of Maiden stuff. So I think we all got some stuff on that actually. So there's the framed print with the stamps, which I love, which is on the wall over there. I also got a bunch of postcards as well, which are there's a great picture of Nico living the dream there. So that's great. But look, I hope you've enjoyed that. Like we said, it's there's lots more rare stuff out there. Please share the stuff you got. I'd be really keen to see some of the things that you guys have collected over the years.
Yeah, stick it on Twitter or our Facebook page.
Yeah,
Good
so
to
we look forward to seeing it. Brilliant. Cheers, guys. That's that. So over to Posties Bean now. We haven't done this for a while, but my spies tell me there's been good levels of plastic arriving in people's houses over the past few weeks.
A while, yeah. So there's a few things have arrived.
Plastic. So let's go to Gappy first, who's going to talk us through a couple of purchases that have come his way.
Yeah, got a couple, not too many. Obviously, the most boring one, which I suppose everyone in the entire world has got by now. But yeah, in my opinion, it's the best album since the Black Album, and I think it's absolutely brilliant. The packaging is amazing. It's just absolutely fantastic. But on a completely different note, I've also got the latest Extreme album, which people may or may not like, but I think you can see by the way I'm doing it there. It's an embossed cover. It looks really.
What's it like, Gaps?
Yeah, it's really good. Really, really good.
It's got good reviews, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm gonna have to get that.
Nice little gatefold with a picture of the band in the middle. It's it's lovely. Very good indeed. Very happy with that.
And they're on tour in November, December, I think, aren't they, in the UK?
Indeed.
Look out for that one. Good. Thanks, Gaps. Jamo?
I don't have them to hand at the moment, but I picked up with all the Metallica talk going on. I picked up the Ride the Lightning box set for a very, very reasonable price.
Oh yeah.
Deal I know has already got that, and it's just beautiful. If anyone on here ever has the chance to own any of the Metallica box sets, I highly recommend them. They are fantastic. And I backed that up with that's pretty much been my main purchase, to be honest. But I backed that up with the Van Halen Right Here Right Now live quadruple album. Sorry, and that absolutely rocks. So I know Dill's got that as well on Record Store Day. So,
yeah, it's all on red vinyl as well, which is brilliant.
Yeah, it's really good.
Excellent, fantastic. Gav?
Yeah, just a few. I don't think I've mentioned this before, but I went to the Def Leppard book launch, and if anyone is into Def Leppard remotely, you've got to pick this up. It's a massive coffee table sized compendium of their history with lots of little cool stories of the past. It's really good value as well. This massive tome is only 30 quid, 28 quid. Went to the event at the Royal Festival Hall where the band answered questions and had a chat for about an hour and a half, which was really informative. There's loads of stories that I need to tell the guys because I still haven't had a proper chance to tell them. But anyone who went got a bookmark, a lovely glossy bookmark, and a poster, not signed, sadly. But yeah, there was a chance to ask questions at the end, and only 5 people managed to get a question in, and I managed to. And it was, how come you guys can't agree on how you pronounce Mutt Lange? And they all laughed and kind of took the piss out of each other because it's true. Because Joe says it differently from Phil, and they're all kind of And then they started saying, well, AC/DC say it differently as well. And they started doing Angus impressions and having a great laugh. So it was really good that a question I asked kind of got them laughing and got them interacting. So I was proud of that. So that's that one. Still got to sit down and read it properly. And again, on a recent trip stateside, I picked up the remix, new version, new cover of one of the best albums of all time, Dio, Holy Diver. It's not on streaming platforms in the UK, so I hadn't heard it, so I had to buy it. The CD is a 4 CD set, which is about 70 quid. So I went for the $30 version and shipped it back from the States. And it's really good. The production is not necessarily particularly better. It's a bit more beefy, like you'd expect with modern technology. But what they've done is they've left the beginnings and the ends on. So on the album, nearly all the songs fade out. On this, you hear them jamming till the end, and they end it properly like they do live. So the endings were in place. They just decided to fade them out. But there's some cool stuff there. There's some really good guitar playing right at the end, where they guessed they knew it wasn't going to be on the album. And there's clicks in at the beginning and some mucking around. It's really great. I really recommend it. But yeah, I don't think you can get it on any of the streaming sites. So it's a nice thing to have. And then I don't know whether I've mentioned this either, but I don't know if you boys know this. I picked up
you got the red version.
I picked up the red version. I just think this band are amazing. I never get bored of this album.
No, the album's brilliant. Fantastic.
Yeah. The production's epic. The songs are brilliant.
I know somebody else has got that album in red. He's also got it signed.
Yeah. So I've got the other version as well. But I just think that these guys 20 years ago would be huge. And I'm hoping they manage to get some success with their second album, which I guess is going to be due fairly soon. But yeah, I just bought that to support them because I think
well done, mate.
That's me.
Oh, good. Right, okay. You haven't shown any Ghost.
I'm waiting for you.
There you go. Gav and I between us have got 4 different colours and copies of the Ghost.
Marketing at its best, yeah. So I've got
clear and gold, by the way. We've all got that.
But it's cool, though. I like that. It's brilliant.
For those of you with your eyes closed, it's the new Phantomime EP.
I've only got a couple more albums to show. I picked this one up. Picked this up in HMV for 15 quid. And I've been off it for a while. Although your man has left the band, which was really sad. It's a great album, this, actually. Really good. And thanks to Gappy for getting me into these. I've had some good nights. Seen them 4 times over the past few years, ironically. From Cardiff to Brixton to download in between.
Yeah.
I've also got the new Foo Fighters album on white.
What an amazing cover that is.
Yeah, there's a little sticker there, believe it or not. You can't see it, but I think they went for the back in black and white, obviously, thing in tribute to Taylor. So that's a really good album. Really good. Yeah, it's just no frills, straight on rock and roll Foo Fighters. So if you like the Foos, that's cool.
Dave plays drums on that, doesn't he?
He does play drums, and yeah, it's good. It's some really catchy tunes. It's
worth a purchase alone for Dave's drumming.
Yeah, it's good it's good like great driving or going to work on the train, listening along to that. And then finally, I got this a week ago. The new Queens of the Stone Age album, which is really nice. I got a patch with it as well, and also I'll show you the bag. Actually, they do a really cool thing in the independent record store where you can pick the bag that you want to go with your record. So this is see at the bottom, Queens of the Stone Age in Times New Roman at the bottom. So it's a special bag, and then I got the patch to match the bag. So I like it. I love the quirky stuff like that. I'd also like to just point out as well, which I haven't got here, for the Foos album, my local retailer also saved me a special edition Foo Fighters T-shirt, which is very extremely limited for record stores only, and that was a gift for him to me for just being a great great customer of his. That's good, and I will continue to be whilst he keeps that up.
No.
Goes without saying.
Yeah. So the moral of the story is shop local, shop your local independent record store, and get to know them well, and take them down the pub for a pint time to time as well. And you never know what you might get in return, and I mean that in a good way, honestly. So if you want to find out more about us or follow, as always, Facebook Tales from the PowerAge, on Twitter Tales from the PowerAge at TTFTPR. Try and say that after a few beers. Online at www.talesfromthepowerage.com, and if you want some merch, and we have some super merch, it's at redbubble.com, merchandise TFT PowerAge. So look, hope you enjoyed that. Please get involved, show us the stuff that you've got, put it on Facebook, put it on Twitter, and hopefully we'll see you all soon. Cheers, guys.
Catch
Bye.
you later, people.
Cheers, guys.